All right, there we are. So first of all, welcome everybody. Thank you so much for coming along today. I know you guys already put in a lot of hours doing plenty of study and practical and everything else in the course that we're doing. And you also all turn up really well on a Wednesday night. So this is a little bit of an over and above, so it's an extra session. But I really appreciate you giving up time on a Sunday, particularly knowing that you've got kids, you've got families, you've got a weekend, you know you got jobs as well. Some of you are carrying a baby that's just about to come out. Thank you, Natalia. I saw you just a few days ago, so I figure you're a few days further along as well. It was terrifying for me. Like, don't sneeze or anything. Um, but no, genuinely, thank you so much for coming along, everyone. Really appreciate it. And I want to introduce you to Daniela. I went like that because she's up in my top left corner of my screen. So we've had some really good chats. We met randomly on the internet. I think trying to market to each other, which was great. Because
Yeah.
because that's the business that we're in at the moment, and that's the phase in the course that we're in of reaching out and having conversations with strangers and building relationships. And what's come from our conversations is we've had a couple of Zoom catch-ups now, and I'm actually really honored to welcome her as the very first external facilitator I have ever introduced to my own clients. And it takes for me a lot of trust to do that. I take my responsibilities to serve you guys and girls very seriously. So I don't just hand over to anybody to come along and present on my behalf to the people I care really deeply about. So I'm going to hand over to Daniela. She's going to take control of it from here. And I hope you guys really love the session because I'm super excited and really looking forward to it. So welcome, Daniela, over to you.
Hi, hello everyone. Oh my God, I'm excited as well. We were just talking about whether we're nervous or excited. And I decide to be excited right now, even though I can feel a bit of like nervousness, I have to admit. But it's just so amazing to see you all. I thank you for giving me a bit of your time on your Sunday. And I just want to give you a lot of value. And before we start into the session, I would like to get to know you a little bit more, just like a quick introduction for each of you. I already kind of like heard your voices, where you're at based in Australia, but maybe you can elaborate a bit more. What is it that you're doing? What is it that you're focusing? Whether if you already started working with someone, and anything you want to share about you. Yeah, please. Anyone who wants to start.
I'll start.
Okay,
Um,
thank you.
my name is Jen. Um, I am a mum of two girls, and
Hmm.
I am doing a breathwork facilitation and also doing Adam's course and learning to be a relationship coach. And then I'm also somehow trying to step more into the space of the relationship with self and then tie that into my breath work and kind of nervous system regulation work. Um, yeah,
Mhm.
that's me.
Thank you, Janet. Love that. Love that combination. I love breathwork. Would love to know more about it. Thank you for explaining. Anyone else who wants to go?
Okay, I'm Heidi. I'm a mum. I've got one little 2-year-old boy, and I am done the coaching with Adam, and I've just been through cancer diagnosis. So I am now looking to kind of implement that along with what Adam does. Um, to That was probably my biggest healing journey, was actually going through both of those things together. So that probably did more for me than
Mm.
the actual medical did. And it was, yeah, that was the biggest healing moment for me. So now I'm going, I need to provide this to others. So yeah, that's me.
Yeah, wow. Thank you so much for sharing that, Heidi. And oh my God, I send you lots of love and lots of like good vibes for all of this healing journey. And I totally trust that it's gonna happen something for you. Thank you for sharing that.
Thank
Anyone else?
I'm
I'll go.
Rachel. I've got two grown-up girls and I've just become a grandma and I'm
Oh,
Yeah, very exciting. I'm learning the relationship coaching with Adam, and I'm also studying coaching through ICI. So I want to get into relationship coaching and also coaching women around sort of like empowerment, self-trust, confidence, those sorts of things.
Love that. Thank you so much for sharing. Oh, I love having so many mamas and grandma here. Like, it's giving me like, empowerment for my upcoming times. Love that. Okay, who's next?
I'll
Okay.
go. Yep.
You go. You go, Sheree.
Okay. So I'm Sherry. I'm a mum of four. I also work full time. I've done lots of work with Adam, but I also just want to, I guess, give back and help people that I guess from like that are in the same position as where I was. So be able to help them from my knowledge as well.
Thank you. Love that. Yes, exactly. We do this because we just want to give back, right? Love that. Thank you for sharing. Leonie, want to go now?
Sure. I'm Leonie or Leo. I'm a mum of two. I've got a 22-year-old daughter and a 15-year-old son. So my kids are self kind of sufficient now. So I'm in the space of just wanting to grow what I've already been doing. Like I've been coaching in a non-for-profit space for 7 years. And now I want to run my own business, basically doing this similar work. But I'm really looking to work with women who are ready to invest in their own growth and, continual learning and education. I'm so passionate about education. So that's kind of what mine looks like, women who are actually really ready to invest in their own education and growth.
Love that. Which kind of education in particular?
So in the relationship space, like I've done
Really?
still doing Adam's relationship certificate, but I have two programs that I'm mainly focusing on, which is boundaries. So like stop taking shit and mind over money, because I think a lot of our exactly money mindset. So I'm so excited about being here today and learning more about that. So.
Oh, excited to hear perspectives on all of these. Love it. Oh my God, so many moms. Love that. Maybe it's a sign of the universe. No, I'm kidding. Okay, who's next?
I'll go next.
Which Thomas?
So my name's Thomas. Um, I'm in the process of trying to transition out of full-time work into kinesiology. And I've been doing Adam's course for the last 6 months, so hoping to integrate that into it. Yeah.
Love that combination as well. And you're in the transition from your 9 to 5 into at one point creating only your business then.
That's the goal,
Correct?
yeah.
That's the goal. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, amazing. Yeah, we've been there. We've been there. Thank you for sharing, Thomas. And
Hello, I'm the fake Thomas now. I'm Natalia.
hi.
Thomas is my husband, and we're expecting our first baby in probably a week and a half. Um,
Wow.
so I'm currently,
Congrats.
thank you. I'm currently doing Adam's course alongside an art therapy course as well. So I want to integrate both of them together. I'm still a little bit unsure. I think it's because I've got too much on my plate at the moment. I can't really focus on what the end goal is going to look like or that's going to be
Sure.
like. But
Sure.
I feel like I'm on the right
Yeah.
path.
That's
Yeah.
the good thing, the alignment of the present moment. I love that. Thank you so much all for sharing. Obviously, I will share as well a bit of me, but let's get started, and it's going to be once we run. I love to hear all of your backgrounds and your goals, and I just love to see the diversity of what you're doing. And I really, really think this is gonna like help you a lot for what is coming for you. So I'm going to challenge you a little bit, I have to admit. I'm going to talk to the next level version of you, the one, as you said, the one that wants to create a business. So we're going to talk about some triggering topics and also some technical topics, but hopefully everything is very explanatory. And if you have any questions, please just like feel free to interrupt me. Like you can raise your digital hand or just like put your mic on and ask, okay? Because I want everything to be clear. And let's start then. Okay, I will share my screen. And all right, so this is the name of the session that I picked. Beyond Sessions and Retreats, the Design of Freedom. The 3 foundations behind a business that supports your life. Because for me, a business is a part of our life, and they both like co-create together. The expansions of our life is the expansion of our business. And when we, as you said, you created all of this because you want to create impact, right? But that impact needs to be sustained by something. And I want to show you how it is a way to do that so you are able to have all of the resources needed to thrive. So I want to start with this. Around 1 in 5 businesses close within the first year, according to the US Bureau of Labor Statistics. So, yeah, the thing is, passion may start the business, but at the end, cash flow, pricing, structure, and predictable demand are what keeps it alive. So, yes, we have a beautiful vision and a purpose within us. But at the end, the structures and the systems that we create are what is taking care of that vision and making it possible. So I'm going to talk to you about these 2 sides here. So first of all, I want to tell you now about me. It's my turn. So I'm a Mexican that studied economics and finance. I was very lost in my life. Like I changed careers 3 times, like what I was studying, because I didn't know what I wanted to do. I didn't feel connected. Like I felt like I was an emotional person and a dreamer and a hippie. But on the other side, I was like into structure, into systems, into money as well. And in this society, those worlds doesn't seem to connect. But now we are actually realizing that they are more connected than we think, right? So after that, after finishing my bachelor, I then realized, okay, I'm just gonna do what I'm supposed to do. I started working in a 9 to 5 in different finance positions. But again, I didn't feel connected. So I had the luck to live and work in different countries like Canada, Germany, Mexico, Indonesia, but there was something missing. Mm-hmm. I had a lot of passions, as I told you, like entrepreneurship was one, businesses in general, freedom, art, but I couldn't seem a way to actually like contain in a purpose all of them. So in my life, despite studying finance and having the theoretical knowledge, I struggled with money for a lot of years. I felt that disconnection for a lot of time, and I actually was broke 3 years ago. But I realized throughout this, like trying to figure out what's going on with my money, that it was not a part of theoretical knowledge. It was more the identity part. And this is why I think that these 2 together can really, really support the people that are not only the rational minds, right? Like there's a lot of people that work very good with the rational knowledge, but there's others of us that we need both sides. And when it comes to money, I think when we have these 2, we can really thrive. So that is why I created my business. It's called Limete. So in German, the word Limete is lime. And in Mexico, we eat a lot of lime. And I always add lime to everything. So it's kind of like a mixture of this like multicultural background that I have. And my aim with my business is to make wealth accessible for everyone that has a vision, for everyone that is creating something from their purpose, from their core, and is shaping the world. So, to help purpose-driven entrepreneurs build a business they can trust through financial systems, strategy, but also the identity component. And this is what I'm gonna give you here, this mix of these 3 things and how it can be practical for you in your business. So then you start becoming this 1 out of 5. So first of all, let's start with your why. Like, why are you beginning this journey actually? Why are you becoming a coach? I would love to know that. Maybe you can drop in the chat a little bit of that. Or just like unmute yourself if you prefer. Why are you choosing this path and not another one? And what kind of life are you hoping this creates?
I think for me, I'm choosing this path because I know the power of like having someone walk beside you and support you through tough times, you know, and bring out your own strengths and help you realize those things. So I've had many people do that for me, and I want to be able to give back in that way. And I'm hoping it creates more of a life that's aligned with what I want to do, but also giving me more freedom to live the life that I want to live. So.
Love that. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing, Leonie. Anyways, yeah, I see the chat. Help other women like people have helped me to create a legacy, freedom of time, alignment. Beautiful. Yeah, I resonate with all of this. Thank you for sharing. So that's exactly it. You want a life that is full of, okay, can you hear me? Purpose, meaning, impact, as you mentioned, autonomy, sovereignty, right? We want to be the ones that actually decide which kind of business we want to create, which kind of service, which kind of impact to which kind of people. And freedom, I love that. Freedom of time, of creativity, of expression, but also financial, with a vision, as you mentioned, to create a legacy. And connection, to create more connection. So for us, it is not about the money, right? Like there are many other things that come above it. It is about the vision, it is about the mission and the freedom. But money is in the equation because that is the vehicle, that is the infrastructure that makes all of those three sustainable, right? So we want to have peace with money, and we definitely want to make money with this. So right now, nowadays, what is happening in the industry? Right now, it's the easiest, but also at the same time, the hardest time in history to become a coach. Because on the one hand, there is easier access to education, to clients with social media, to visibility, to online businesses, right? But on the other hand, there's more competition, there's more noise, more offers, more confusion. So this is also why it's the hardest at the same time. But how can we then elevate? So then we become the ones that are the business that stay. And that is what I want to give you today, like a framework and different aspects that you can start thinking of right now at the very early stage of your business. So you start planning from there and creating your offers from there. So the people who thrive right now are not necessarily the best practitioners. We all know a lot of people who are super talented, but are not the ones who are thriving. Because the ones that are thriving are the ones who actually get to learn how to build sustainable businesses. And that is what I want you. That is what I want for you after this hour and a half or whatever, how much time we have. So now I'm going to talk to you about the three foundations to create this, a sustainable growth in your business. The first of it is continuity. And please don't be afraid with the names. It's just like, financial terms. People create these terms, but now you're going to master them, okay? And predictability, and then profitability. So I want to explain to you what this means from both sides, strategy and identity. So first of all, I want to introduce you to Maria, because when we have someone to work with, it's going to be easier to actually get it. So she is a high achievers coach. She's right now paid per session. She's delivering workshops, retreats. She's making money, but something feels off. It feels unreliable. She still is not trusting her business. She lives in fear, and she feels like it is not enough. Why? So let's enter into this. Let's enter into continuity. Continuity is a concept, and it answers the question, can Maria's transformation continue after the session ends? So this means after the hour. And most of the times, even if you are paid per session, yes, it has a ripple effect. But the question here is, can it be actually perceived by the client, by the market? Because that is what is important in order to position yourself. So what needs to happen is we need to create offers that instead of being just sessions or hours, we build transformations. From selling hours, from selling our time, from trading time for income, we build journeys. And from being a coach per hour, then we become the leader of a movement, the founder of a legacy, which is exactly what you were talking about. So is Maria actually doing this? Let's have a look. So if we could have a look at the revenue of Maria from the previous year, it would look something like this. So as you can see, she has one-on-one sessions, she's delivering workshops and retreats, right? But there are actually no trends, no patterns. It's like, okay, just points, dots, right? So right now she's selling one session at a time. There seems to be inconsistency in her income because as you can see, some months she's making 1,800, but some others she's making 400, right? So there's constantly searching for the next client because if she just sells sessions, she's like, okay, now what, right? So if she sells a package of sessions, let's say 4 per week, she's selling something in a month, but then she needs to keep launching and looking for clients for the next month. So there's a lot of reaction, there's reactivity. So let's say, okay, right now during winter, and this happened to one of my clients, like he was selling sessions for healing somatically. So he was so happy during winter. There was a lot of people coming in. But then when spring arrived, people are not looking to heal anymore. They want to thrive. They want to enjoy that the sun is out. So then my client was, and Maria in this case, was like confused and what is going on? And now stressed. And now, okay, let's make a retreat. So then we inject some cash flow in. And then, okay, it started becoming better again. But then at the end of the year, she's like, oh, I actually don't know, right? Like some months feel good, some others don't. So it's not reliable. So it's because she doesn't have a clear offer journey or longer containers. There's no clear vision. Like, what is actually the thing you want to create, that legacy, that movement, right? And her revenue is constantly starting from zero. So what happens with her identity? Why is this happening? So it's usually when you feel things like, oh, I don't trust myself enough to think bigger. I don't know if I'm good enough to actually hold space for longer, for creating these longer containers for months. I'm not sure, Who am I to create something bigger? Who am I? What if nobody buys? What if I fail? No, I need more certifications, more education first. I'm not ready. And I want you to know, if you have felt that, it's completely normal. We have all been there. Or probably some of these thoughts are going to start arising when you start working more. But now you're aware and now you have the information, so you can step up of them. Say to this boy, hey, I hear you, I acknowledge you, but right now I'm going to lead because guess what? My vision is bigger. And what needs to happen then for Maria? So she needs to go from one-on-one hour sessions to one-on-one journey transformation high ticket of 3 months, for example, according to the package she creates, right? So now, obviously, the container is longer. She has 3 months. There's a transformation that is different, more specific, more valuable. Then she's creating a mid-ticket offer, for example, a group container of 4 months long. She then starts creating a membership at one point because that's something she wants to do. And she's skipping the retreats. So now her income starts looking like this. And as you can see, you can start seeing patterns here, right? So it doesn't look so reactive anymore. So for example, for the group one, as it is 4 hours long, she knows she's going to be covered for the next upcoming months. And if she has a client of the one-on-one, she knows she's going to be covered for the next 3 months. And then she creates a retreat. And then she has more clients, So she knows when she's going to launch. And as you can see, there's more continuity overall. So right now, there are clearer transformations that are longer. There's a journey for the client. And this creates recurring revenue opportunities. So this is definitely calming her nervous system. And now the workshops and retreats serve more as accelerators than survival mechanisms. So do you guys have any questions until now? Is all of this continuity part making sense for you? Thumbs up? Perfect. Okay, great. So at the end, the goal is not only to create more revenue, but it's to have a revenue that you can trust. Because also when you trust, when you feel more confident, you can create from this energy, this frequency, and make decisions from there. So now with this new revenue model, what is her identity? she's now stepping into this leader of a movement identity. And now she has commitment over excitement. Yes, she has excitement, but she knows that it's longer, right? She needs to hold also her energy for these longer containers. And now she's thinking long-term over short-term urgency. She's trusting in her own expertise, and she has courage to be seen, to talk about it, the capacity to hold responsibility for a bigger vision, and patience, which is something sometimes we lack of during these days when everything is so, like out of the moment. So it's knowing this, it's being aware of this, because this is what it takes to create something that is sustainable and also sustainable for our nervous system. So what becomes possible then? Before, she was living in survival, everything was reactive. She was in the identity of a facilitator and it was uncertain, but also there was a burnout risk. But then she created a strategy. Now she has a direction. She knows where she's going. She knows her vision. She's stepping into the founder's identity. And now she has space for predictability and sustainable growth. So yes, she's feeling confident. And it is because of a revenue model, nervous system capacity, and identity. These are the foundations. The identity, when we step into this and we start being, then doing, and then at one point we're going to start having. So at the end, continuity gives place to predictability, which is what we're going to step into now. So before I go into the next one, is continuity clear for you? Like, can you feel this one? Yes. Amazing. Love it. Okay, let me check. Any questions? Nothing. Okay. So now let me introduce you to predictability. Predictability, predicting, is trying to see what's coming. That's what predictability answers, right? So can Maria see what's coming? Right now, she has no idea how much money next month will be. She has no visibility of it. So she's in an emotional roller coaster, as you could see, right? But she needs clear containers, revenue and expense visibility. She needs to know where her money is going, where it's coming from. So when she sees, she's able to plan and to make better decisions. And now she's stepping into the leader, the director of the resources, because where our money goes is where our focus goes. Our money is just reflecting our decisions, which are reflecting who we believe we are. So let's have a look. Right now, Maria is in a question, like blank space. She can enter into her bank's app, but she just sees a number. And if her money, like personal finances and business finances, are mixed together, then that number actually is not telling her so much about her business, right? So she has no visibility of the numbers, and therefore she doesn't know how much she earned last month, or she can have an idea, but not exactly, or where the money is coming from, like which offer, right? Or where her money is going in her business, what her average month looks like, how much she needs to earn next month, or whether she's actually profitable. So obviously not being clear on this is creating anxiety, overthinking, and you feel behind the whole time. So that's not a good state to create from. So after predictability, what needs to happen? So then we have predictability. First of all, we need to obviously step into the identity, being aware of this. Then it's like, okay, now I want to become this. What do I need to do to become this, right? Okay, I need to create visibility of the numbers. So the systems needed, so then I'm able to see what's happening, to separate the finances of my business and my personal life. And then I can see something like this. Look how beautiful is this chart. Now you can see the revenue per month and the trend. And when you can see, then you have information to make better decisions. You know what your trend is, and then you know what to focus on. So, Maria now is feeling confident. Then visibility, obviously we also need to track. And there are different mechanisms to do that. Some people prefer to do that by hand, like me, but some other people prefer to do that automatically. There's already different ways to do it. And then she can see, okay, my money flows in from different things. And where is it going to? Is it going to essentials, like the things that actually keep up the operations of my business? Or is it going to the reserves for savings and taxes or for growth? And now she can see, oh, actually, yes, I'm investing some on growth. I'm having reserves for taxes, and 55% is going to the operation. So it's not that bad. And now she's feeling like the owner, the one that controls, the director. And that just gives you so much power and leadership in your own business. And then forecasting the numbers. So this means actually to predict, right? So if you know how many clients are active and how long your containers are, you can start having an idea of, okay, how many months from now am I going to be covered? Oh, I'm actually going to be covered for the rest of the year. Amazing. I don't need to create from lack. I don't need to create from urgency. Everything I create is going to be on top. And this is a different feeling for creation. And then also knowing, okay, what needs my attention? What decision should I actually create from now? Given my plan, given all of what I want to do, the vision I have. Okay, so this obviously gives her this calm with herself because she can see it. Okay, so she's going from a coach or facilitator that had no visibility of the numbers, systems, trackings, or forecasting. And what happens with her identity? These kind of people, and I've been there, believe me, is, okay, no, numbers stress me out. I'm not a numbers person. I don't want to do this. Structure feels restrictive. It feels like it's controlling me. I don't want to be controlled. This was me, by the way. Looking at money creates anxiety. This was also me. Imagine how much shame I felt knowing that I studied economics and finance and I was not able to see my bank account because I was so afraid of the number, right? Because I always felt I was going to discover something bad. But obviously, this comes from different layers. It's a different part of us. And we already know. I mean, if you are in this space, I know you are intuitive and you are connected with yourself and your body. And you know that we cannot just like obligate ourselves to do out of action, right? Action will feel natural once we deal with these things first. These things of, I'm not good with money, I'm not organized. Yes, but this is going to keep you in the coach facilitator identity that are going to create a coach facilitator kind of business and results. So Maria needs to become the leader with a vision, the one who tracks, who forecasts, who decides with confidence, with calm, trust, and who is intentional with her resources of money, of time, of energy. So now she is the one that creates ownership instead of avoidance, creates curiosity instead of fear. She's like, I'm going to look at my numbers from curiosity. Let's see what's happened, responsibility instead of reactivity, and making decisions from a regulated nervous system instead of emotional. She's trusting in reality instead of assumptions. She's having confidence to look at the truth now. And as she created these systems as well, as she decided to create them in the first place, now she has the confidence and the capacity to make decisions because now she trusts herself, right? Whenever we say we're going to do something and we actually do it, we build that trust muscle and confidence muscle with ourselves. And this is the same. Obviously, it's progressively. We need to do it little by little. But this is something that I am so happy you now are aware of because then your business can thrive. So any questions until now? Is predictability making sense? Yes? Yes, I see some faces that are a bit confused. Okay, perfect. Yes, please give me your thumbs up. I love that. Okay, so, right. So now predictability is having enough visibility to stop making decisions from fear. Once we have clarity, we can decide from a different position. And when our intuition has more visibility of this, it also has more to make a decision from, right? I like to make decisions from both data, but also intuition. And most of the time, they are together. So With no predictability, this is the thing. You don't know if you can grow. You don't know if you can invest in hiring someone because you don't know what's going to happen. Like if you can sustain it, right? You even rest feels risky at some points. But with predictability, you know what's coming. You can identify the gaps before they become emergencies, plan the investments, hire support, launch with intention, and make decisions months ahead. So once something is predictable, then it can be scalable. And that is what we want as well. Because when we scale, it's not just about the money again, we scale our impact. So let's look at this. Once something is predictable, it can be scalable. But before Maria scales, is this actually profitable? And here is where we enter into profitability. Because what if we scale something that is not making money for us? Then we're just going to scale something that is going to keep us busy, but actually not creating this space in our money, in our bank account, and in our time. So I want you to first introduce you to profitability. And this is answering the question, is Maria's business supporting her life? Is it creating more freedom or more pressure? So we know Maria, she has full launches until now. She has full retreats. She even has a waiting list. She has super high visibility, engagement, high demand. Like there's people wanting her service. But she's exhausted. She's not earning so much. She feels like money drips out of her hands and she's not feeling safe. But it is because revenue, like making money, it's not the same as profit. And profit, what is profit? Profit is the revenue, the money you make, minus your costs. Are we all good on this one? Perfect. So if we want to increase our profit, we need to increase our revenue or decrease our costs. Thumbs up. Perfect. But what is revenue? Because costs are very specific and subjective to each business. So let's not go in there yet. Let's go to revenue. What is revenue? It's price times quantity. Think about a product, a Coca-Cola. How much money they make, how many Coca-Colas they're selling, times the price of each Coca-Cola, right? But in our case, it's a bit different because we don't have a tangible product. We don't have materials that we don't have labor hours, right? So it's a bit different to quantify all of this. But if we want to increase our revenue, we want to increase our price or increase our quantity. Thumbs up on this until now? Beautiful. So then what is price and what is quantity? We need to understand what is price and what is quantity for a business like ours, a service-based business. So what is quantity? Quantity equals demand, right? And demand is not only how many followers you have or how many people likes your reels or how much engagement. Demand is the ability to attract people consistently because you have visibility, marketing, sales, because of a clear message that's super important, niche clarity, audience growth, and referral systems. Not all of the time your audience needs to grow so much in order for you to create demand. You can create demand with a clear message. That's the most important thing. With a clear transformation and knowing how to message it to the people you're serving. So are we good with quantity? Quantity has to do more with the visibility, with the sales part, how much you are able to put yourself out there. And this is obviously triggering many parts of us. Every time, new levels, new devils. So now let's see what is price. And this is such a beautiful thing. I love price because it's not just a number. It's creating a language. It's giving information to the customer already. Think about it. Whenever we make a decision of buying something, of investing in ourselves, we start thinking so many different factors. And if you pay attention, then you can already start realizing how your potential client or your soulmate client starts to make this decision when they are trying to realize whether to work with you or not. But price equals positioning in a service-based thing. It does equal, I mean, you need to take into account several costs, like your time, and if you probably have subscriptions or some platforms to have hold the space of your containers, but it's mainly positioning. And that is how much someone is willing to pay because of the perceived value. And I highlight perceived because it's not about only the time, it's about what they can perceive in your message with the little tastes that you have been giving throughout visibility, throughout your experiences, through how you speak about what you do, how clear you are with the transformation. So clarity of transformation and specificity is the number one thing that is important for you to position yourself in a market and be able to express the value that you actually give, to have a price that is positioned either high, mid, or low, depending on the offer. The price is also revealing to the person the level of trust, of authority, of proof. This is gonna become little by little easier once you start having more testimonials, but it's not only about that, because it's also about differentiation. What makes you different? And I love this part because I love to think about zone of genius. I don't know if you've heard about that, or ikigai, that tells you, okay, what is it that you love, and you cannot stop thinking about or talking about or reading about? And what is it that you are interested in and what the world needs? And in the middle, that's your zone of genius. And when you're able to create from your zone of genius, first of all, you don't get bored because it's already exciting for you. And second, there's not a person that has another zone of genius like you. There's not a person that has the lifestyle that you've had, the experiences that you've had. So when we create from there, we are able to create something unique, that it's differentiated. And when we are able to message that clear, then we're able to also reflect that on our prices. And confidence. So this is what pricing means, because obviously, whenever we reach a new level of pricing, we need to trust ourselves that we are able to provide that value transformation, that probably we're very good at talking, but can you actually deliver the results, right? Any questions until now? Pricing is a huge topic, but it's an important one. Thumbs up. Perfect. Thank you. All right, so let's continue. So at the end, both are needed. Being aware of both are needed. Planning offers with both in mind are needed. And it's not something that we're going to figure out. Obviously, better made, like we need to put it out there, and then through our experience, we're going to start like improving all these little things, right? But both are needed, because if we have high demand but low pricing, that's what is happening to Maria. She's busy but exhausted. She's always having clients coming in, but she's not really pricing the value that she's providing. She's underpricing, so that's why she's busy. But if we have a high pricing but no demand, we have beautiful offers, but nobody buys. It's like you create something amazing and it's unique, but if you don't put yourself out there, who's going to come? Who's going to know about it? So demand creates volume. Positioning creates leverage, and together they create profitability. So more money stays with you when you cover your costs. It's not about the money, but we want the money because we want something sustainable, because I know you have invested in yourself, and I know that you are willing to give a lot to your clients. So we want something that gives us the capacity to continue with this beautiful work, right? So now it is predictable, and now is it profitable? So she's gonna move from just thinking, oh my God, how do I get more clients? How do I create more offers? You know, like usually the people that I work with, they are thinking their problem is visibility, or the Instagram algorithm, or the reels they're making. And probably that's a little of a problem, but I know people that with less than 2,000 followers are making 6 figures. So It's not about just getting more clients, but about creating a business model that can sustain demand and positioning, right? And creating value. That's what we want, creating value and being able to communicate that value. All right? Good until now? Perfect. Right. So now, thinking that you need more clients, it's always from this identity where you feel that charging feels selfish. And that happens with a lot of people I've worked in the past. It's like, okay, this is a self-development thing, it's therapy, or it's helping people. I should not price it really high. We have these beliefs, right? But at the end, this is not helping us grow. When selling feels manipulative, when we say, I'm not worth that much, who am I to charge that? Or I should help everyone. More money means more responsibility, right? I used to have that one. And people won't like me if I charge more. And probably some people won't like you. We need to be aware of that. But some others will connect with you. And that's also why we want different offers, because then we can tackle different parts of the market. So now what this level of identity requires? Okay, self-worth independent from external validation. Then confidence in the transformation you provide. You know your offer so good, you package it so beautifully, and you create so many bonuses that you are like, okay, this is like a no-brainer thing. I know already, and I'm aligned with the price, and I can sustain the price. You have the willingness to be visible, to talk about it, selling out of integrity. You expand your capacities to receive. That's a huge thing in our industry. We like to overgive. But what about receiving? You need to learn to receive and feel safe in receiving so you can receive from your clients. And we have the ability to hold more responsibility. Money is responsibility, but that's why we are becoming this leader, this director of resources, and understanding that value and price are connected. So, thumbs up about this identity shift. Beautiful. So at the end, we need these three things to really create sustainable growth: predictability, continuity, and profitability, a business model that covers these three things. So I think it's a beautiful time for you. So once you start creating your offers, you think about these things. And you can then go from trying to filling up retreats, thinking just about visibility, more people, more client, more audience, more offers, to which only creates reactive growth and pressure, to actually create higher value transformations, to have something, a business that has continuity and can sustain us, to translate that into the market, to focus in, I'm going to refine my message. I'm going to get the feedback. If a reel is not working, that's not about my worth. That is just feedback from the market. And I'm going to then use it. Create the systems for visibility. That's a big one, because it requires that you actually invest time in doing this and make sure it is profitable. So now you can create sustainability and something that just gives you peace, calm, freedom, which is what we want, right? You told me. And this is the way of how to build these things that I have done until now. And I wanted to present it to you because I have something beautiful that I want to give you. And before that, I want you to understand how from my framework, it's possible to build these three things. And it's called Conscious Wealth Creator. And it is the financial architecture for conscious entrepreneurs in the wellness industry, built through three pillars. Three things we're going to build. One is the money system. So this is like your accounts connected, the visibility dashboard. Then the strategy, once we see what we have, we know how to use it to go towards that vision. We want to plan for the vision in 5 years. And the identity. So it's having these three things to become a conscious wealth creator. And there are 5 steps. So to create continuity, predictability, and profitability, I love that they rhyme actually, but okay, there are 5 steps. So first, awareness. How have you been doing things until now? Which identity are you? Which are your limiting beliefs? How do you relate with money? How has your past with money be? Let's have awareness of that. Let's know ourselves. Then the direction. What is the vision of our business, of this legacy we want to create? As I said, we want to plan for our long-term vision, right? Everything we are creating now is already having an impact for that legacy. And then generate, how are we going to generate that? Which ecosystem of offers and pricing? Holding the capacity, holding the energy, holding the systems, the routines, because there's going to come a point where you are building that the reality still has not catched up. And you need to be able to hold that space while clients will start coming in, right? Like marketing is compounding. And finally, receive. As I said, it's so beautiful to be aware of this because many people is so good. I know a lot of people that are so good at making money, but they are not so good at holding, for example. Like they make a lot of money and then suddenly they have no money. So they cannot actually keep money in their bank accounts, or they are not good at receiving. So maybe they have full retreats, but their prices are so low. They are not feeling worthy of that. So these 5 steps are the ones that create a conscious wealth creator, that build these 3 pillars for this sustainable business. And for now, as I know most of you are studying already to become these coaches, gathering your vision, gathering your direction, what I want to gift you is from the direction part. So defining where you want to, where you want to go in your life with your energy and with your business. From the strategy and from the identity part. And I want to give you this bundle here, the workbook that is going to help you do exactly this. Like think about the lifestyle and which kind of business is going to support that lifestyle, the vision, the people you want to serve, right? The zone of genius that you have, and how can you integrate that into your mission and vision statement? And yeah, it's going to help you clarify all of this. And if you decide to do it, I'm going to invite you into a complimentary free 45-minute strategy session with me that you can just book in there, because I want to already give you more context with that direction and how you can actually start building all of this. Okay? So any questions, anything? This is it. I hope it was not so much information and it was very digestible for you. Please let me know. Thank you, Leonie, for being here as well. Thank you so much, Annette. Anyone that has any question that probably you are thinking already about how to implementing it, anything? Any feedback, anything, it's open time for you now. I have talked a lot.
Just thank you. And yeah, I agree with Rachel, the way you broke it down. The slides are really easy to understand. And I guess it's a lot of stuff as coaches like that we probably think about. But yeah, having the visual in front of me right now, literally, I've already got so many different ideas where I can implement this stuff. So thanks.
Beautiful. Thank you for that. I really hope that, and really, guys, like if you already have your vision mapped down, you can book the session. I would love to support you even further in this, because I think it's such an important topic to actually create something sustainable in our business. And I see so many people out there with so beautiful ideas, and it's so worth it to create all of these foundations to support our vision. Even though I know a lot of people is like in a fight with structure and systems and money, but these are limitations. And once we can step out of it, then freedom really starts to come, and more resources to expand our impact. And that's what I want for you. So thank you so much for your time in your Sunday. I was going to say morning, but no, it's already afternoon. And I'm here. Like if you decide to fill out this workbook, I would love to support you. Thank you, Heidi.
I have some great
Beautiful.
feedback too. I really like where you touched on, and can you stop sharing your screen for a moment so I can see you nice and big
Yes,
again? Thank you.
sure.
If that was the end of the slides. Um,
Yeah, it was.
what I took away from that I think is really important for this team in particular and where they're at the moment is I think going back to the start of my coaching journey, learning how to charge people was a really big thing, and learning how to say, I think my program's worth $3,000 or I think my program's worth $5,000. I remember when I made my first jump from like 3,000 to 5,000, I was terrified. But I think you touched on something really important there for people, which is feeling like if we charge too much, then we can't work with those people who we feel like really need help but just can't afford it. Because I know a lot of people in this space are very compassionate and they really want to bring a lot of people along with them. So I think when you talked about having like a high ticket offer, but then having like a subscription where you can help people for $30 a week or $50 a week and build volume through having like a large long-term group program where people can pay $50 or whatever a week, which is much more affordable than maybe the 5,000 or 10,000 that people would charge if you're doing very intense one-to-one work. I think that's a really important strategy to have, that you can meet people where they're at by the programs that you run and the volume you get through them, and being able to price things appropriately for different levels of the market. I think that was really valuable for people.
Thank you, Adam. Yes, most of the times when we think about, okay, if I increase my prices, then I'm not gonna support so much people. But then you can
Mhm.
create different containers. You can create more free things, but you're not gonna do it at the expense of you and your peace and your sustainability, because you are your service. So you need to be in this good shape when it comes to like your nervous system, so that you can create more impact. Because then we resent our clients if we don't actually charge what we feel we deserve. And you don't want that with them. So that's actually a very good point. Thank you, Adam.
No, and just on that, like it popped into my mind at that time. It's like some people go, I can't afford it, and it's actually them really in that energy going, that's not actually important enough for me to put my energy into you being able to support me through that. And that's where they have to realize and go, oh, like, if I'm not willing to put in the money, then am I willing to put in that time? Am I willing to actually, do I want that transformation? And for some people, that transformation isn't what they want because it's too unknown, and it's like that fear is really the problem for them. And it's like, how can you bridge them past that fear so they realize that the transformation is actually what they're looking at, not that fears that are in front of them for that too.
That's such a great point. And I mean, on the one hand is this messaging part that I was telling you, right? Because one
Yeah.
thing is like, okay, let's say we look at a somatic therapist and she's saying, I'm a somatic therapist and I'm going to help you regulate your nervous system. Okay. And I'm charging $5,000. Okay, yeah. But then what happens if there is one person that is like, okay, I'm supporting entrepreneurs in the early stage, regulate their nervous system when they are afraid for visibility for the first time, or the uncertainty of becoming an entrepreneur for the first time. Oh, wow. Now you know what she's helping you. It's already creating trust and authority in the way she's speaking. And second of all, you know what you're expecting, right? And now you're like, okay, tell me more about it. Probably you're not ready to make a decision yet, but now you want to know more about it because it's so clear in the messaging, right? And what if she told you, okay, yeah, and I give you WhatsApp support in all of this, and I also give you, I am a chef as well, and I give you like some ingredients to create food that is good for your nervous system. Oh, wow, like all of these things are compounding, and then the perceived value is different. Now it's like, oh, now I get why it's 5,000. Yeah. you
Yeah.
know? So
And
it's
having that.
on one component, it's that.
Hmm.
Yeah, sorry.
And then it's that clarity, like knowing what you are offering to them as well, right? Because it's like if they ask you, it's like, what are you actually offering? And it's like you need to put yourself in their shoes to go, oh, like if I'm wanting this much money, then I am also needing to know this is what I can deliver, and that this is, yeah, like, yeah, you are
Exactly,
getting the
the
food, you are getting
clarity.
this, yeah. Yeah.
The clarity mainly in the results. When we are early stage entrepreneurs, we usually talk about the mechanisms and the how. And that is sometimes very good to talk about, but mainly we need to talk about the what. What is it that you're getting? And it takes a while to get there, but once you do it, it takes a lot of market research. So that's why, as Adam said, conversations are so important. Conversations with people out there, conversations with people from your niche. Try to go where they are, consume what they're consuming, so then you get them and you talk their language. And usually we build out of our experience. So our niche is another version of us. So that's easier as well. But that doesn't have to be. And then the other thing I wanted to include in the answer that for your question is the identity part. Sometimes we talk with people that are still not ready to make that leap of the investment, because as you said, the money reflects the level of commitment they're gonna give to you, their time, right? And some people are not quite ready. So that's why you also want to have something, okay, you're not ready for that, but I have this. And it's also creating some results for you. Sometimes it's really not aligned, but some other times they are like, oh, actually, this is ready. And it's more the trust in themselves, right? Mainly money objection is trust in yourself. So I hope that answers your question. Anyone else? Anything you guys want to share or ask me?
I know one thing that comes up for the group a little bit is selecting their first niche. I think when you step into the kind of coaching that we do, there is so much crossover between what you might call wellness coaching, relationship coaching, healing work, somatic work, empowerment work. And I think that people can get tied up very early on of selecting the niche that they want to start in. How would you give people advice on what to choose and where to start?
Yeah. So I always think, as I said, I mentioned the zone of genius, right? So I always think choose a niche that you are interested on. It needs to make sense in the market research. So for example, when I started my business, I started with artists. So I served a lot of painters and musicians and DJs, but then I realized, okay, I'm actually so far away from them. Like I don't get them so much, I love art, but they are so different people thinking so differently. I'm a business person and I'm like, I'm not feeling so confident yet, right? Probably at one point. And then I love wellness as well. Wellness and embodiment and body-based entrepreneurs, breath work. And I started, so I was like, oh, I love this more. And I actually connect with this more. And then what is making more sense in the market research as well, right? Wellness is an industry that is just like growing exponentially over the world. So there's more opportunities there as well. So as I said, it's for me, it's always data, but also intuition and what interests me. Because at the end, you're gonna do this and you're gonna do this for a long time, probably, we hope, right? So we want to do something that we like and with people that we care about and we have something in common, because you don't only want to talk about systems and numbers and how to get the profit of it. I also want to know who the human is. And I also so I would say these two sides, definitely. Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you. Anything else, you guys? Right.
How do we get a copy of that book?
Yes, definitely. Let me send you, good point. Let me send you the link of the presentation. You can enter there and then you have the link of that book there.
Thank you.
I will send it to the chat already, so you all can have it.
Thank you.
For sure. Thank you so much for your comments and your thumbs up and your your time and everything. I appreciate you being here and hearing everything I've got, and I really hope it already is offering you a lot of value. And if you get to do the workbook, I would love to see you again on a one-on-one and give you even more. So if you don't have any more questions, then I think we're done.
Well, on behalf of the group, thank you so much for coming along and presenting that. I think that was absolutely fantastic, and your energy is very infectious. I know the group
Mm.
gets used to me, who is a lot more straight-faced and calm. So having somebody along who is very animated and just as passionate as I am, but displays it differently, I think is wonderful. So I truly appreciate your time. I know you put a lot of effort into this, putting it together and turning up on a weekend for you as well. I know it's Saturday over in Mexico, so you could be out raging
Mhm.
and partying, but instead you're hanging out with us. So I really appreciate you coming along. That was genuinely fantastic.
Mm.
And I think for anybody in the
Oh,
group, if Daniela is offering you a free session to jump in and start work on that, you'd be crazy not to take that up. So please do so if that's available to you, because I think that was very, very valuable. Thank you.
oh, thank you. Yes, I would love to see your faces again. You have my socials there as well. Any question, anything else that comes up, please just let me know. And if it's okay, I would like to take a picture, like a screenshot of everyone. If you're okay with it. If not, you can just turn off your camera. So, one, two, three. Yay. Amazing. Thank you so much, guys. Nice meeting you. It was great to see you, to get to know you. If you happen to come to Mexico, let me know as well. And I wish you a beautiful Sunday. Bye.
All right,
Thank you,
thank
everybody.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye bye.